Hello everyone, Carlos Flores, back on basics. So today's video, we're going to talk about the power of storytelling. And I'm not just for the storytelling's sake, but what it does to you, to others, what it is useful for. And so, before we begin, um, subscribe to my YouTube channel at Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button for any new videos that are going to be coming along. Hit the like button. The power of storytelling. If you have any topics that you want me to go over, let me know and put them in the comment section. Connect with me on Instagram at Back on Basics and on Facebook at Carlos Flores Jr. I had hair in the picture, by the way, so I may have a little bit of hair in the picture and not a beard. So, but still, connect with me and let me know so that I can do that. So, storytelling has been going on from the beginning of time, and it's because storytelling can help in a lot of different ways. Storytelling can help because it's something that passes an event that somebody feels is very important, and they're passing it on to another person or a group of people. And so before we had videos, before we had books, before we had audio, there was storytelling. It was word of mouth storytelling. The thing is, I don't know if anybody has played the game Telephone, where at one end you start with somebody and you secretly tell them a message, and then that person tells the next person, and so on and so on and so on. And then at the end, the last person hears the message and then says it out loud to see how it has been modified, if it has been changed, or if it's still the same. A lot of the time, things change because storytelling is based on somebody's perspective. So, from my perspective, storytelling is wonderful. This is storytelling, what I'm doing with you. I'm telling you stories. I'm sharing with you psychological tips or psychology tips, business tips, education or preparation for education, preparation for higher education like college and community college and trade schools and things like that. Remember, I'm trying to not only help you have mind-body balance, but I'm also trying to prepare you just in case you may have family members, significant others, children that need some of the topics that I'm talking about. And believe me, we all do. And so this is my storytelling. I love it. I mean, I am not this animated most of the time. Most of you know this. I am very introverted, and I have changed a lot. I'm 48 years old, and I have changed a lot, but storytelling is something that I appreciate very much. There's a lot of benefits about storytelling. One, you're processing. You're telling somebody so that way they can see it from their perspective, and then they can tell you what they think about the story, which is great because this is how you autocorrect. This is how you adapt, right? This is why we have support systems, because you tell them a story, or you tell them a scenario, or you tell them what you're thinking, and they will look at it from their perspective, including you and including everybody around you, like your support system, like your village, right? And so storytelling is very important, especially because if it's done in the here and now, right? In the present, then what it does is it gives you a slice of history from the past, but it doesn't bring you back. It doesn't bring you back. Remember, in another video, I told you about how you can actually code memories, so that way you can bring them back out. And I showed you the Funko Pops with WrestleMania 3 and how I remember that very vividly. So there's been stories that have been told to me that have been etched in my mind, because it's not necessarily because they're real, but the way that they were told. Because there are people that are very, 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 very good about telling storytelling. For example, my grandfather used to tell me used to tell me stories about werewolves, and it's like these werewolves were this, and he didn't even talk about the traditional werewolves where a silver bullet may hold them down or may kill them or things like that. But he was talking about how werewolves, according to legends in our country in El Salvador, werewolves were and people that changed into other things, that were being possessed by demons, were actually roaming the countryside in the older days. And it was amazing because not too far from that story, I actually watched a Mexican movie about werewolves, and I was freaked out. I mean, I can still remember. And again, right? Look, my mind is actually connecting through that. I remember the story that my grandpa told me that started everything. I remember watching the movie, and I remember excerpts from the movie. It's actually, my brain is actually playing that movie right now. And then I remember me, who was like maybe 6 or 7, I would always sleep with my covers all the way up, because I thought that maybe the wolves will not see me, or the werewolves will not see me if I was under the covers. And that's how I thought I would protect myself. And it was fascinating because it started with a story, and it started with a good storyteller, which was my grandfather. He was a good storyteller, and it started that way, and it had that ripple effect after that. I mean, even before that, right? Then we have when I know that some of the stories are passed from word of mouth to word of mouth, and it goes on and goes on and goes on. But remember, in history, then you start looking at storytelling pictorially, in pictures on caves. Remember those cave pictures that are million and million years ago? You can see the mastodons, you can see the woolly mammoths, you can see the people with spears, you can see a lot of different things. And it's amazing because you know what? Again, somebody had a story that they were telling by drawing, by painting in the caves. You are actually watching that cave painting, but you're also interjecting your take on it. So again, that's the importance of storytelling, because one person put it out there because they wanted to share with as many people as possible. And here's one person that looks at it, and they look at the definition, they look at the pictures, they look at everything, and they create the story. Remember, in a few videos ago, I said that as human beings, we want to have continuity when it comes to stories. And if somebody tells us stories and there's gaps in between the story, then what we do as human beings is we connect those gaps within the story with what we think the story should go towards, or how it would end, or how would it progress from the beginning to the end. And it's amazing because that's how rumors start. That's how sometimes gossip starts, because we tend to fill in the blanks as human beings. We shouldn't be filling the blanks. We should be asking questions. Present, right? Be in the present. Ask questions. If you don't have the whole story, don't be afraid. Ask questions, because you don't want to fill in with what you think it's about. You want to be able to know the story. And if you have the person that told the story, even better. So that's another way of doing. Then we went to audio, right? Like songs, they tell a story. There's so many different songs. I told you, I like Def Leppard. I like bands like Iron Maiden, Linkin Park. Love their songs. Rest in peace, the frontman for Linkin Park. He was a great singer, and he told stories with such power and everything. I think that's one of the reasons why I get so animated, because I want to be able to have you just sit and pay attention, right? Remember, let's go back a little bit earlier. The world, the world, the war of the worlds. Remember that radio where everybody would sit around a radio and they would listen to stories. You weren't even watching. You were listening. You were using your auditory processing, and you were creating pictures in your mind. Remember John Cicada, one of my favorite songs from John Cicada. Look him up. Mental pictures. I mean, that's what it creates, right? Some people process auditorily. Some people process visually. Some people process through taste and sound and olfactory. Haptic or touch. And so we have to really get to know somebody, so that way we can figure out how they process. And that's where communication comes in. And that's the importance of storytelling. That's the reason why storytelling is such an important aspect. So remember, I told you this. I'm making these videos to help you out. I've said this before, and some of you have taken it up on me, but not a lot of you. I am willing to expand on these videos, so that way it would benefit you more. Or if you have any questions, just connect with me. Just put a comment put it in the comment section, and I'll be happy to do so. So again, that's the importance to me of storytelling. It's something that you pass from one person to another, to another, to another. And now that we have digital technology, you can hit thousands of people. The number one short that I have is my daughter's boyfriend eating a burger in Las Vegas. This is huge burger. And it got 5,000 views, 5,300 views. Imagine that. 5,300 people looked and watched. I had one. I was eating a giant hot dog, and at that same restaurant, I think I got 3,500 views. It's amazing what people want to see. And that's the reason why I'm making these videos shorter and shorter, because I want to be able to do so. So my storytelling technique is this. So I started with longer videos. Great. In the meantime, I'm also doing shorts, or I call them microbytes. It's just the longer videos, but just within a minute. It's a microbyte. And now I'm doing these middle of the road videos, where it's just a summary of the longer ones and a little bit more expansion than the shorts. And so those are different storytelling techniques that I adapt. The nice thing about it is every time I do a video, I process. I process things. I hear myself. I see myself. I feel the things that are seen. As I'm processing the video and uploading it to YouTube, I see the importance. I see why it matters to keep storytelling going. And there's so many wonderful storytellers. If you're a storyteller, get yourself, YouTube channels are free. Get yourself a YouTube channel. Tell your stories. Tell it from your perspective. It's important, and it brings it out, and it puts it in the universe. And some people watch it, some people don't watch it, and it's okay. It's not for everybody. But the main reason that I do it, and I've said this before, is when I'm past and I'm gone from this earth, my kids and their families and everybody who's still around are going to be able to watch these videos and see how animated I've got, and how passionate I am about life balance, mind-body balance, right? Basic foundation about being in the present, right? About using your support system, about utilizing your entire village. And so, again, I will end with this. It's wonderful to storytell. Whether it is real or not, it is wonderful to tell a story because people are captivated by stories. I mean, it started from day one and it's not going to stop. The thing is, you got to understand this, and I had to understand this, I mean, after a few months, is that storytelling is getting shorter and shorter. So you have to create microbytes. And that's the reason why I create microbytes. Because I can spoon feed you a microbyte each day. So that way you can put the story together and you can look at them at the middle of the road, kind of like the in-between video, or you can go straight to the longer video. So that's my take on the importance of storytelling. There's so many good storytellers. I mean, there's so many good storytellers. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so that way you can get notified of any new videos that come on board. Hit the like button. The importance of storytelling. Storytelling is a great vehicle for you to be heard, for you to be understood, and for you to share things with others that are important in your lives. Thank you to all the subscribers. We're actually up to 80 subscribers right now. And so thank you for all of you, because you are starting to come back and look at the shorts and look at them, like the mid-range videos and the longer videos. So until next time, keep the stories coming. Put them in the comment section. Back on Basics.